So I know the movie is called Murder Mystery 2, but it doesn't even really center around a murder this time around. I'm guessing that title is a little bit more catchy than Kidnapping Mystery 2 though. Doesn't really flow that well. What's up guys, I'm Sully and today we're talking about the new Netflix movie, Murder Mystery 2. And if you saw the first one of these, you already know what you're signing yourself up for, but the news story for this one goes like this. Full-time detectives Nick and Audrey are struggling to get their private eye agency off the ground. They find themselves at the center of international abduction when their friend Maharaja is kidnapped at his own lavish wedding. So I feel like this is one of those movies that's very easy to get behind because so many of us have a soft spot for these two lead actors. One of those reasons being they've just been in our lives for such a long time. My mom loved watching Friends, so I've always enjoyed Jennifer Aniston, but I grew up loving Adam Sandler. It was hard not to. I mean, my dad is a big fan of movies like Billy Madison and Big Daddy, so I revisit his 90s movies all the time, and I still cry every time I see Click. Any guy that says he doesn't cry while watching that movie either hasn't seen it or is lying. But I'd be kidding myself if I said there wasn't a clear decline in quality with the movies he's been putting out over the last decade or so. I mean, Jack and Jill might be the worst comedy ever put to film. I can't believe someone actually made the decision to release that abomination into the wild. But look, I'll always love the guy, and the more dramatic movies he's been a part of recently have been great. But those comedies... yeah, they're a different story lately. But now we have Murder Mystery 2, and I feel like it's impossible not to have your expectations set correctly at the door from the jump, especially after seeing the first one. Like, you're not going into this one expecting a legitimately good movie. But when you go to McDonald's, you're not pissed off that they don't have expensive caviar on the menu. You know what you're signing yourself up for here. This movie has 2 stars that have great chemistry together. It has a quick 90-minute runtime, and people are really loving this revival of the whodunit genre. And all of that is well and good. But like I said earlier, the mystery isn't even really centered around a murder this time. It's about a kidnapping, which kind of threw me for a loop, I gotta be honest. But I guess Kidnapping Mystery 2 just doesn't roll off the tongue as easily, so I don't fault them there. Instead of going completely fresh for the sequel like Glass Onion did, this movie kind of picks up right where the first one left off. It revisits some of the old side characters from that previous entry, and if I hadn't just watched the first movie in preparation for this sequel, I probably wouldn't have even noticed because most of the side characters are honestly pretty annoying and boring. But Mark Strong is a new face this time around, and I thought he was a great addition as this kind of badass Navy SEAL search and rescue expert. He does a good job showing the two main characters what a real professional looks like, and it creates some funny banter there, but other than him, the side characters are insanely forgettable. I gotta say though, one thing that surprised me with this movie, and it actually does it better than the previous film, is that I found the action sequences were pretty decent. They were fairly creative and interesting, which is not something I was expecting when I hit the play button on this one. And there's a scene in the back of a getaway van where I was pretty much laughing throughout the entire sequence. Does it deliver up anything we haven't already seen done before? Probably not, but it hits all the necessary marks to be effective. Chock full of good physical comedy, one-liners, and snappy editing, and the same goes for this insanely over-the-top finale on the Eiffel Tower. I actually saw someone bring up that this movie is way better if you picture the events of this film in the events of John Wick Chapter 4 occurring at the same time, and I can't deny that. These movies coming out back-to-back and using so many of the same large-scale set pieces is a hilarious coincidence. But at the end of the day, these movies are just messy, harmless fun that don't really push the needle in either direction. Am I ever going to watch this movie again? Probably not, but if they continue to keep making them, I'll continue to check them out because they're an easy, low-stakes watch with actors that a lot of us have a soft spot for, which sometimes you just need from time to time. Murder Mystery 2 gets a Sully score of 2.5 stars. So that's my review of the new Netflix comedy. Hopefully, if they do make a Murder Mystery 3, it's actually about a murder. But let me know in the comments below if you're gonna go check this one out or if you've already seen it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys at the next one.